What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all been having a great weekend. In this video, I'm going to briefly talk about Thanksgiving weather, but mainly this video is going to mainly be about confidence is increasing on the potential for colder than average weather as we welcome December and the potential for a favorable pattern for maybe winter weather somewhere in the southeast. But before we get deep into this, we're getting closer to winter, guys, and I love talking about the potential for winter weather, and just I love winter weather in general. So hit that subscribe button if you're local here in South Carolina. That's where I specialize. To stay up to date, subscribe. I make multiple videos throughout the week. My Twitter link's here, my Facebook's here. I'm very active on both, and I love talking weather with you guys and expressing my passion with everyone. But let's get deep into this. So we're going to talk about Thanksgiving really briefly. This is going to be really quick. I talked about the potential for severe weather midweek this coming week. That looks like it's pretty much done went away, and including the chances of rain has really diminished. So this is Thursday, about Thursday morning, midday. You notice there's rain off to the west, but it just kind of falls apart. So one thing I do want to mention for Thanksgiving, though, there is going to be a chance of showers still for sure, but I'm going to flip over here the dew points just really quick here. And dew points is basically how humid it is. I mean, let's just straight the point. This is dew points in the 60s for a good chunk of the southeast. So I do think Thanksgiving is not going to be cool. It's going to be a little humid. It's not going to be very, very humid, but dew points in the 60s, that's kind of like how it was today. Maybe a little bit more humid for Thanksgiving. But you look at actual air temperatures for Thanksgiving, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty warm. I actually wouldn't be surprised if some areas and the closer to the coastal areas and just a lot of areas in the southeast get into the 80s. I know that's not something a lot of people want to hear, but it's definitely going to be above average temperature-wise Thanksgiving. It's going to be warm, a little humid, mid-70s in the Midlands and upstate, low 70s. But so that's pretty much, not a whole lot's going to change between here and Thursday and Thanksgiving. This is the main part of this video, is cold air that looks like it's going to enter the area right as we get into December. So the rest of the week, it's going to get cold probably tomorrow. It's going to be very chilly, 60s, lows in the 30s. But as we get into Thanksgiving, you see them above average temperatures. And if you can't see it, make sure your video is in 720. I think that's the highest this video will go, but you can clearly see it if it is. This is Thursday. You see the reds. That's above average temperatures for temperature anomalies. Anomaly means compared to average. So we're above average Thanksgiving. We get into next weekend. We continue to be above average temperatures. And then look, something develops right here. See these below average temperatures, and this is November 30th, and it inches east. And that is a huge area in the southeast, the entire southeast, that is well below average temperature-wise. I'm talking 10 to 15 degrees below average on December 1st. And that is when it really comes. And not only that, but it just, the way the trough is digging and the way the jet stream looks here, the subtropical jet, basically this is demonstrating, you see how it dips right here? Basically this is showing the dip clearly. You see how it's dipping right here? That's the trough digging, and this is December 1st too. And basically storm systems can get going and crank around here and ride the trough that's digging right here. And when they can ride the trough, when there's enough cold air, you can get some winter weather pretty far south. Maybe not in South Carolina, but definitely maybe in the mountains or something. But you never know. It could be much further south. But this is a clear evidence of, this is a beauty right here. This is January, and we say this all the time. If it was this, if it was that, and the other. But if this was January, man, we could really be talking about something here. But it's not. We're probably going to be dealing with still marginal cold air. But this is the kind of look you need. Storm systems can ride this. You got enough cold air dipping south. And something can link up here. So we're going to flip over here. And this is temperatures. This is actual air temperatures. So we're getting into Thursday. Check it out. And this is the European model. We were looking at the GFS model a little earlier. I'll flip back and forth. When you see this ECMWF, that means I'm looking at the European model. So we're getting into next weekend. Just above average temperatures. Above average temperatures at this time of the year, you're probably looking at highs in the upper 60s to 70s. So not significantly cold, but if you look right here, something begins to brew, and then you start to get this digging cold front that moves through. and we're going to get a little bit of a closer look here. And then all of a sudden you get into December 1st, and the entire eastern part of the U.S. is well below average. Look at these temperatures. It's probably going to be hard to see, but you're well below freezing. And then you get into just the latter part of the run here. But you look at not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, these are high temperatures. And you're looking at them, let's see. Okay, here's a much closer look. So this is next Sunday. And look, the front blasts through, and this is that cold air we're talking about. And check it out. These are high temperatures for not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. This is 222 hours out. Very inaccurate. But something has been showing. Check it out. 33 degrees for the high in Atlanta. 32 degrees in Birmingham. 42 degrees in Columbia. 40 in Charlotte. This is some cold air. High temperatures in Tennessee in the 20s for December 1st. So this is going to be some very cold air that really has a chance to really get entrenched into the area. And look at this. This is next Wednesday. Lows in the low 20s, the teens in the mountains. So I guess the real question is there going to be a system that links up with it? So if we fast forward to that same time period, and this is December 1st here. Check it out. You got a system that rides up as the trough is digging. Trough is digging right around here. The cold air isn't in place yet, but you got a pretty big storm system, and this could be severe weather right here, moving through the states before the southeast before the cold kind of lurks behind it. And when the cold wraps around it, you got some wraparound moisture that throws snow into the Tennessee, the North Carolina mountains, Tennessee mountains, and maybe the Georgia mountains as the cold air really gets in. So that might be a first snowfall event. And this has been showing up on and off, too, for them areas. And it's the southeast we're talking about, December 1st. This is the GFS ensembles here. And as we're getting, like I said, into that December 1st time frame, here it is. Now, this might not tell you a whole lot for just your average person listening and not knowing a ton about weather. But this is the look you need right here. You got a ridge out west, and you got a trough digging to the east. And, the colors probably tell the story. That's below average temperatures. It's above average temperatures. You got below average temperatures in the east. And you have the isobars dipping here, and you basically have, a storm system that can ride up through here. So we're going to look at basically here. We're going to look at the latest GFS from this evening, and we're getting into December 1st. Now check out these blue lines. Basically, that is that trough digging. That's that cold front. That's the cold air coming out of Canada digging. And you see this L? This is a low pressure. That's a storm system. Notice how it comes up and rides where the trough is digging. That's where the storm systems want to dig. This throws us, for the time being, under the jet stream before the trough digs. So we're still in kind of the warm sector, if you will, the warm part, because we're below the low pressure. So that gives us a severe weather threat, potentially. You never know. And this is, like I said, this is the GFS, and this is for getting at the very end of the month, into December 1st. But check out the cold air coming, starting to turn some of this backside moisture into snow. And the storm system moves out, the cold air moves in. You got high pressure just throwing a ton of cold air in. And then this is getting really far out, guys, and this gets kind of weird. You almost got like a cutoff low that forms here. And you got a storm system that kind of gets out in front of it, throws moisture into it, and then it just gets kind of weird. It transfers to the coast, and yeah, just kind of weird. And when you got a cutoff low, it kind of creates its own cold air, if you will, and then you just all of a sudden get snow in the mountains. But you never know. It gets kind of weird when it gets far out. The parallel model, which who knows how accurate this is, but it always likes to throw something crazy. But we're getting to the end of the month, until December 1st. It kind of has that same look. You got some storm system riding to the south. It moves out. You got the cold air in place right here. And then you have another storm system that shows up, throws some heavy snow into Oklahoma. Gets kind of weird, shows that cutoff low again, creating its own cold air, throwing some snow into Arkansas, Louisiana. and then it gets going. But look at that low placement. That's what you need. And you're dealing with marginal cold air, so you got basically an upper level low cranking out heavy snow in Mississippi and Alabama and Tennessee. And you got a low pressure, and then this is that wraparound effect. Once the cold air gets involved, look at all the snow in the Triad of North Carolina. This is 324 hours out, December 5th. It's not accurate at all. It'll change 100 times. But all I'm basically saying is you got a pattern there. You got something there. So you're starting to get these fantasy snowstorms and winter storms show up. And even though they might not, even though they may not mean a lot, when you start seeing it, you're starting to see a pattern kind of starting to, develop. You're starting to see something kind of develop out there. But so, that's just something we need to watch. I'm trying to get to something over here. Let me see if I can do it here. But, so, it's something we need to watch. So, favorable pattern entering as we get into December. I don't think this is going to work for me, but favorable pattern entering. Will we have winter weather in the southeast? I don't know. But, definitely I'm starting to really get confidence that we're going to get colder than average temperatures entering that first few days of December. Now, this is Florence. Let's check out. So, check it out. This is Florence, South Carolina, for example. This is the European outlook on the 10-day forecast. So, you just got waves of, you got above average temperatures, and then all of a sudden, December 1st, it's showing a high of 44 and a low of 36 in Florence. For example, you look at another station, you look at Charleston. Let's see if we can get it here. Same thing, 44 degrees for a high next Tuesday, December 1st. We could flip through all these. We can look at Columbia here. Columbia, 42 degrees for a high next Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, next Tuesday. So, it's probably going to show something even crazier for, say Greenville or something like that. Greenville, Spartanburg. Let's check it out. 39 degrees for a high. So, you get a storm system that rides up with that kind of cold air. Moisture is going to bring the temperatures down, and you just kind of never know what happens. And I'm trying to find something here that it's basically the EPS snowfall, and I want to look at, say, Greenville, Spartanburg, the Greer Spartanburg area. And yeah, okay, so here. So EPS total snowfall all the way out to December 7th. So basically, it shows hardly nothing, right? But after December 1st, you're starting to see hints of some of these model runs giving snowfall. So basically, like I've said 100 times in this video, after December 1st, things begin to look favorable for cold air, potentially winter weather in the southeast. But that's all I got, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in and watching, and we'll see what happens.